What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boogie Reacts back again. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Road to 5,000 subscribers. Don't forget to support your boy and comment down below videos you guys would like me to react to. So, in today's first video, I'm gonna be doing shout out to my boy MTR Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. This is the channel if you guys don't know. But I've been following this guy for the longest of times. I'm talking since 2019, before you know he had maybe even 30,000 subscribers. But in this video, uh, the lady called in and she was going in. She was like, "Hey, why are you telling men not to date single mothers like me?" It's which is a valid question, because I kid you not, guys, some single mothers don't seem to understand why men wouldn't prefer to date them. They don't get it. You know, it's just the same way some guys don't get why women don't like men who don't have money. It's the same thing. You would think either side would understand why men and women like different things in each other, but some ladies don't expect men to accept them and the kids from other men, and they expect them to just understand it, not judge them in any way, not say nothing about it. And when you come in, you have to accept them and love the kids, their kids from other men, like they are your kids. So some ladies don't seem to understand it. So men like MTR, try to advise men and be like, hey, listen, before you fall in love, this is what you're setting up yourself for, and you may want to think about it. All right, so today that's the video we're gonna be going through, and I'll be linking down below all the channels I'm gonna be reacting to today and other videos, so you guys can go subscribe and check it out. All right, let's go.
Well, what positions do you disagree with?
Well, I put a comment, and everybody was telling me to go and and come up because I commented and I said that I wanted you to give your stance on single moms because you do post a lot of um I don't want to say hatred, but like kind of the negative side of it. It's the side I haven't seen as a single mom. So I don't know your stance on it before I disagree with it, but I do disagree with the what I've seen on the channel. They're all good videos and they are truthful, but there's never like a when you say you hold both sides accountable, there's never like a balance with the single motherhood. And I don't know if it's just the manosphere, because as far as I know, pretty much everybody in the manosphere is like hate single moms, you're trash, all that jazz.
I don't think they hate single moms. No, they may hate the entitlement some single moms have. For example, some I've seen some single if you guys have watched Kendra G's show, some single mothers may have four kids from four different men, but they require the new man to be able to provide for her four kids. That's entitlement.
So I don't know what your stance is. I would like to hear it before I say that I disagree with what you post, but I just don't care for the
I
content
got,
posting of
but
it.
I got to know what I got to know with what you've seen. I got to have context for the
The last one
position
you
that you want
posted
me.
was, I'm sorry, cut you
Go
off. The
ahead.
last one you posted was the lady with the like six kids, six baby daddies.
Oh
I saw the
shit.
one. I know I saw the one with Jordan Peterson. I think where the woman like paternity fraud. That was crazy. Where she like had that dude with those two kids, and then he found out he was had an illness to where he never like
Yeah.
could have kids or something like that. And
Yeah, but
so
that's paternity fraud. That's a little bit different than single mothers.
okay, well I consider her a single mom. Okay. Um,
Okay.
so and then
Yeah,
like
but
when
that was
I when
paternity fraud. Yeah.
yeah, it was legit. But when I go into the comments, then I make a comment about, man, these women are trash, but there is another side to being a single mom. Then of course I get your followers who are like, we're watching you, and I don't
Ah,
I don't know your stance on it. That's what I'm saying, because from what I hear, it's said that single moms are kind of at the lowest of the totem pole for dating. But then on the flip side, you and other men promote the get therapy, work on yourself. So it's like, why am I working on myself if I'm at the lowest part of the option pool?
Before even MTR goes in, yeah, you can work on yourself as a single mom. I mean, you got kids, right? You definitely need good to be in a good mental to have good mental health for to raise to be able to raise good kids. But that doesn't mean that the new man should accept you with your kids, and that doesn't mean you are entitled to demand a man who's going to take care of your kids, especially when the father is still in the picture. Now, if you're a widow, you lost your husband, that's understandable.
Okay. So we can start from any given point. Generally, so like let's say I have someone that's calling me for like coaching or something like that. And let's say that they ask me, do should I date this single mother? And you got to look at every situation within the context. If they're young, if they're beginning stages in their life, they haven't figured out their life yet, they got a lot of places to go within life, I suggest that they not. Why? Because you're taking on her as well as her child. You're taking on a bill that you don't necessarily need to put within your life. You're putting an additional barrier within your life, and it wasn't your decision. So I make
Okay.
sure that men understand those options because, like I tell on the channel all day, is that you have to be very intentional about the steps that you are taking in life. And if you do not understand what this is and what it can lead it down to, I mean, and also for me specifically, I'd rather not a pre-made family.
That's facts, man. That's he's important because some guys fall into the whole I'm in love thing. Okay, she got kids, but I'm in love, or she loves me. We love each other. But did you guys know that apparently, let's say if you guys move into the same house, so you as a man, you got no kids, but now you have met this single mom. You guys move into the same house, you're helping her raise the kids. Do you know if you break up, she can put you on child support for those kids that are not yours. So some guys do not know those situations. But also, if it gets serious now, you have to think about the fact that all the money you are making, now you have to divide it between you, her, and the kids. Because if she's, throwing a birthday party for the kids, she expects you as her boyfriend to buy something for the kids. But also, you can't discipline the kids because they'll talk back, yeah, my daddy, and shit like that. So, some guys have to be aware, but most guys are not aware.
Okay. So that's just your personal
So
stance
those are
on it.
my, so those are, we could start from those two positions. I guess, what do you
Okay.
disagree with those two positions?
Well, I guess because I'm older, I don't agree that anyone coming into my life would be taking on that extra burden, and I guess I just don't understand it because it's never happened for me in dating. And really until I started like watching your videos and Kevin Samuels, I wasn't aware of how big a problem it was. And I don't know if black men just weren't voicing it or they never voiced it directly to me,
No,
that it was
they're
an
not
issue.
voicing it. No, before this space, listen, I grew up in the 90s. Oh, we're kind of like the same age, but I grew up in a time period where it was men were shit on for not dating single mothers. And I remember this specifically. I remember this specifically. And men are shamed for the decision to choose not to date single mothers, right? Like, and I think because of the information in the space, now dudes can finally say, yes, this is what I've been actually thinking, da da da. But then also they have talking points to some of kind of the negative repercussions, right? Like, and I don't think necessarily that there's situations where there's not any influence from a child because then you gotta, you're right. Like, let's say you guys want to live together, right? Where's the child gonna go? Child's gonna live with y'all. Is he ready to be a father? Is he ready to be a stepfather? Right? Like, what stage of life is he in? Right? Like, because now,
Yeah, I think that's the issue with some single mothers. They always say, I don't need a man to take care of my kids. We're just dating, but they never think about the long term. Okay, so what happens? Especially if you're a single mom and you're dating seriously with good intentions for a long term relationship or even maybe get married, eventually you and the new man are going to stay in the same household. So what happens then? Are you saying you still don't want him to take care of Your kids, I mean, he's going to pay bills. And if he's paying bills, the kids are going to be a part of those bills. Whether it's the power they use, it's the cable they use, the Wi Fi, the food he buys. It's not like he's just going to buy food for him and you. He's going to buy food for everyone in the household. So eventually, he's going to take care of the kids that do not belong to him. Now, in the beginning, you guys are dating, you don't live in the same household. Yeah, for sure, he won't be able to take care of your kids. But long term, some women don't think about the fact that eventually he's gonna have to take care of me and these kids, you know.
Now he has to put baby or child things ahead of his own goal, his own life. And I think that when we consider the value of men and that most men, all men have to create their value, they have to. They have to use their 20s to be as accurate in their life as possible, to make the greatest decisions as early as possible, strategic as possible, so that they can rise and ascend and build a kingdom so that they can let the drawbridge down for the highest option, the highest suitor, the highest bidder. And if you settle too early with another bill, it can significantly slow down or hamper that process. And I think like it's okay for dudes to say that they could like you, but they also don't want a family.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I say, that's fair. But then, if that's the case, then should we assume that all single moms should just kind of just end their life once they have a child?
No, and no, it doesn't mean your life ends. It just means you have to be realistic. The same way men who don't have money have to be realistic about the type of woman they'll be able to get. We're just gonna be honest. It's the same way short dudes, I mean, I'm 5'8", I guess I'm short as well, right? But as short guys, we have to be realistic about women preferring taller guys. We have to be realistic about that. You can't be a 5'8" dude and think you deserve a woman, or a woman who is 6 or 5'9" or 5'10" is just gonna accept you. We gotta be realistic. So it's not that because you got kids, it's the end for you. No, it's the fact that you have to be realistic. Hey, listen, my situation I'm in is going to probably reduce my pool of viable dating candidates. The same way applies to men. I don't have the money. I'm not that tall. So I don't have hair. I'm bald. So maybe my dating pool is gonna be a little bit smaller. So I can't be delusional.
I
Because
mean, I'm
we're
not
being told
saying
now
that
that
they should
no,
end their life. I mean,
not
I've
no, no,
never
no,
said
not.
that. Yeah, I'm not. I'm
No,
not.
no,
I'm like,
no.
whoa.
I'm asking.
Like, this took a dark turn. This took a dark
I,
turn.
I worded that completely wrong. And I just heard how it sounded. I apologize. But like I said, when I watch the videos and your videos about women who are single moms who are trash, it's shocking to me because I don't see any of those. So I wonder, like, does he see any videos or do you see any proof of single moms who have rehabbed themselves, went to therapy, and were still able to not even garner a high value man, but just a reasonable partner? And is there any
I'm.
content on that?
Oh, if you find some, send them to me. I mean,
Okay,
have you seen any?
I could say myself, but I don't view a video myself. So
Well, listen. But that's the thing. If what you're saying is that there's examples of this, but you don't know any examples of it, then does it exist? It's not to say that there's not success stories within the space. What I'm saying is that the mantra in society is that men must sacrifice to get what they want. And they
Facts.
must then sacrifice early in their life to be in love. And that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you should recalibrate how men are thinking to create the best version of men. And then later on in life, they can let down the drawbridge to the highest option within that.
That's fact. But you know what, guys? I'm actually gonna be. I'm gonna even take it just a little bit different. I believe most men would take a good-looking, kind, feminine single mom, even if she even has 3 kids, as long as she's not entitled, like doesn't nag him, she's a good person to be around, good conversation, good energy. I'm gonna be honest. Most guys will take the deal, but I think where most guys have an issue with it is the a woman with kids is as entitled as a woman without kids. I think that's where most guys have an issue with. Because the guy will be like, okay, she's a good woman. All right, sure. She's a single mom, but she's good. She talks to me nice. She cares about me as well. She appreciates what I'm bringing to the table. So I think most guys will be okay with it. But I think the entitlement and the attitude from some single mothers, not all, I think that's what rubs most guys the wrong way. But if everything was all right, most guys would not have an issue with dating single mothers and even marrying them. I'm gonna be honest, because some guys do it.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna
And
work
also, I
on
think that it's, but also I think that it's important. But yeah, but send me. I don't know. I mean, if you don't know if it exists, then I don't know how you would document that. I mean, and then make it in a way where it's like entertaining that people would actually want to watch it. But to be honest, I don't even know. Right? Like, because here's the thing. Like, my pops was raised by a stepfather. Right? So so I am readily aware that men can step up to the plate
Mm.
and be fantastic fathers. Absolutely. But I just make sure that men are making the best decisions for themselves to increase whatever goals or joy or happiness that they want within their life. And most modern women today won't even look at a dude making median salary. So you're telling me not only just you're not looking at me with median salary, but then it's you and another child at the same time, or two other children, or three other children. So, because I want to be clear, it's not to conflate looking at a video of a chick talking about, I got six kids with six baby daddies, kind of mixed in with this conversation. Because here's what I think is happening is that someone looks at a video like that, and then you feel as if I'm talking about all single mothers.
Well, I look at the video and then I look in the comments and then I see like dudes, like I said, the comments are just, they're not even about the video. It's just like all single moms are trash. Why would anyone want to date a single mom? And it's just like, when did this become a part of this? So
I mean, people in the comments are coming from separate walks of life, and maybe even some guys have had bad experiences with single moms, for the most part. Uh, so you have to take the comments with a grain of salt. But all in all, I think most guys, like I said, don't have an issue dating a single mom. But I think that some single mothers have entitlement. They think they deserve this much. They're not realistic in what they want. In other words, some single mothers think they do you a favor by introducing you to their kids. It's like that, I'm doing you a favor. You're getting a 2-for-1 deal. And I'm like, no, I'm getting a 2-for-1 bill. Actually, 2 for 2, because I'm gonna pay for you and for the kids at some point. So it's like, the entitlement, the attitude. But I'm sure the nice single moms out there who get married every day, So at the end of the day, men and women, both of us just have to be realistic in where we are on the dating marketplace, and just not be entitled, and just be good people to each other. And I guarantee you will get whatever you want as long as you're good to good people. Because if you're good to bad people, then they may take advantage of you. Anyway, man, shout out to MTR. Links down below. What you guys think about that? Some of you, I know, guys, in the comments, you're probably been with a single mom, you know. But I would also love to hear about any man who has had a good experience with a single mom. Not because I believe not every single mom is bad, obviously. So if you're a single mom watching this and you're the unicorn, comment down below the things you have done for your man to choose you over women without kids, because it's a very hard choice. But by the time a man chooses a woman who has kids over a woman who does not have kids, that says something about that woman's character. Now, some guys do it because they got no options. All they have options for is the single mom. But for the guys who got options and on their grind, I think it speaks to the character of the single mom. All right. Shout out Mediocre Tutorial and Reviews. The next video I'm going to be going through is really, this is something men always struggle with, the fact that women make nice guys wait, but the bad boys, they eat on the first night. It's crazy, but some guys are like, you know what? Why should I be a nice guy and do all this work? And then you make me jump through hoops. But for the bad boy, who you don't like, you give him your soft. So let's get into it. Shout out to Whatever Podcast. Shout out to Andrew. Let's hit it.
But if you look at it logically, right? Like, isn't the guy who you like are viewing like, oh, this guy could be like long-term relationship potential? He waits. He has to wait for sex, but the guy who's maybe going to treat you poorly, who's a jerk, boy, he hits right away.
Maybe
like
because,
that's what's confusing.
because she doesn't want him to stay around.
Is long-term relationship success?
So hang on. So let me just ask you from the guy's perspective. Let's say you and I are sitting down for dinner. Say, look, I only f the guys I don't like.
Yeah, it's weird.
What should my play be?
And I think this is what confuses most men. It's like, okay, I did all the things I was told to do. Be a gentleman, open the car door, bring flowers, text her, call her, compliment her, be a nice person to her, be kind. And then she says she's going to make me wait. But for the bad boy she doesn't like, he gets it on the first night. So guess what? Most guys just decide to become bad boys.
What should my play be then? Should it be like, I really want you to like me? Or should it be, I really want you to not like me?
Wait.
Like, what should my play be?
Andrew, that's
Right.
actually a really good, I think we've talked about this before, but that's actually a really good point. So your position is, if a guy wants to get sex, he has to be the bad dude.
No, he has
So
to
you
be
guys
attractive.
are incentivizing it. Men will do what works. Men,
I
okay.
think he has to be attractive.
No, men will do what works. So like, oh, you reward the guys who treat you like shit and you fuck them right away? Is it any surprise that if you guys are like giving yourself sexually to these awful men, that you're reinforcing their behavior?
Well, men
That's facts. As in, I'm telling you, guys who are good guys and over time they get dumped or ghosted or being laid on for months or used for free dinner dates, over time they're going to look at the guys who don't do nothing of that sort, who never do nothing nice for women and get rewarded with sex, like, I'm the crazy one. So guess what? Over time they're going to change, because men usually respond to whatever standards women have. Now, are some standards so crazy that men just give up? For sure. But if a man can meet the standard, he will do whatever it takes. So in some cases, women create bad boys because nice guys finish last.
don't treat you like shit before they have sex with you.
Really?
No.
The bad boys do.
Like, I don't think have you guys ever gotten treated like shit by a guy? And
But you
had
only,
sex with
wait.
Yeah, but the bad boys don't take you out to nice dinner dates. They don't bring you flowers. They don't pay your car door. They don't call you every day. Like, bad boys don't do that shit. But you still sleep with them.
though.
Just because
But
he was
you always
attractive?
Sleep, but you sleep with men that you don't like.
Yeah.
And you won't sleep with men that you do like. So if I'm a man who wants to sleep with you, what should my goal here be?
Be a bad boy. Because clearly the bad boys are rewarded with easy sex. They don't have to do expensive dinner dates. They don't have to bring flowers. They don't have to give any compliments. They don't have to be kind people, and they get rewarded with sex.
To make you what? Like me or not like me?
Well, I don't think it's
Isn't that what you said? Like our response is going off of what you said. You said, well, they sleep with the men that they don't like.
Yeah.
Didn't you say
yeah,
that?
I don't want for a long-term relationship. Maybe
Because why?
maybe he's highly desirable. Like maybe he's highly attractive, or he has a lot of money.
Yeah,
He has a
I
lot
guess
of women chasing after him. So you already know he's not really looking to commit to anyone.
So
But he's
you're
attractive.
settling
Like
for me?
I think when women, I think
You're settling?
No, sometimes like you're just hot and you just. Well, you're not settling. I think when women
Well,
like.
hang on. How are you not settling?
I think
You
when
say-
women sleep
wait,
around, they
wait.
usually go for men who are of like a higher status and like more attractive, more money, whatever, because they know that
So you're
those men are
settling.
just not going to stick around because they have more
So
options.
let me.
So, but why would you sleep with someone you know? You just admitted that they sleep around with men they know wouldn't stick around. But then they make the guy who they know will stick around wait. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So, guess what this leads to? Once a nice guy sees this, he's like, you know what? I'm going to be the bad boy too. I don't want to stick around anymore.
Let me get this right. Here's your position. Women are having sex with men who are high status, who they don't actually like, who they know they can't actually get.
No, they have
When it
to
comes
like
to
them.
you, though, they really like you, so they're not going to sleep with you, right? Which literally means you're not high status and we're settling.
No, they
That's
have
what
to
that would
like
mean.
them. It's
Okay.
just that they don't see a long-term relationship with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, okay. They
Where
don't
they
see a
know
long-term
that he's not
relationship
looking
with
for
them.
that.
So then my goal should be for you to not see a long-term relationship with me then.
If you're just
If I wanna
looking
have sex with
for casual sex as a man,
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
Okay,
guess
so
so.
then the best way to have sex with a woman is that she doesn't like you and you tell her that you don't want a long-term
No,
relationship.
she has to like you. Have to be attractive. You have to be desirable to her.
Yeah, sure, you're attractive
But you
and
have
you're
to be
desirable.
like.
But if she tells you she doesn't want to sleep with you because she really likes you, then
Yeah.
that must mean you're not attractive and desirable.
No,
she
you're
has
just
more
not
respect for you.
exceptional.
I feel
Oh,
like if
you're
she
just
doesn't
not
sleep with you at
exceptional.
first, like,
Oh, okay. He was exceptional. I'm not exceptional. You're settling.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, man. It's confusing. This is the crazy thing about dating right now. Because I'm telling you, man, most bad boys, okay, most guys who are not bad boys when they were younger and then they turn into bad boys later, it's because they've been into situations like this. They have been the nice guys. They got, mistreated, ghosted, used for the most part for attention, free dinner dates. And then later on in life, once they learn the game, they're like, you know what? I did all that nice guy shit. I was a gentleman. I was a lover boy, and it didn't get me nowhere. It just got me used and abused. So you know what? We're back to the streets. I'm telling you.
Right?
Women do settle when it comes.
Okay, right. So you're settling. That's it. So Brian, once again, Brian's argument, king, no refutations whatsoever. It's just the entailment that you are settling and faking virtue for men you claim you like, who you won't sleep with. And this is a problem from the Christian ethic. I really want to destroy this guy on this. I want to completely melt Brian's mind on this. But apparently he's right. Because what the entailment is always is we're settling for you, right? But if you were exceptional, we'd fuck you.
So
Wait.
is that better to
don't-
have one night with somebody versus you could be married to them, and then if your goal is sex with somebody, being married to them means that you have a
Here,
long-lasting relationship
I'll answer your
with
question.
them.
I'll answer your question. So, in this scenario, the guy, you're saying it's better to be married to this woman?
No,
Yeah,
no,
we don't wanna
I'm not
marry-
saying- I'm
we
not
don't
saying
wanna
to
marry the
that woman.
girl.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that, if you're saying, is this based purely off of how quickly I can have sex with a woman? Is
No.
that the
It's
basis of the
it's
conversation?
based on, no.
No.
Let me explain.
Okay.
It's based on this. If you have had sex with men before very quickly, but you will not have sex with the guy you're with and tell him it's because you really like him and wanted to go somewhere, right? The idea from the gal I was just speaking to, I'm very sorry, I wasn't here right for the beginning of the show, so I didn't catch your name. She said, and I quote, well, women do settle. You're obviously not exceptional. That's exactly how the guy would feel. He would say, why do these other men get to have sex with you? Who you say,
Yeah, it's the double standards. And ladies, if you're watching this, I'll break it down for you how we see it. Maybe you could understand it. And so many guys have used this analogy. So, ladies, think about the way you make the nice guy wait for sex, but then for the bad boy, he gets to hit so quick. You give him the chicks quick. Think about how you meet this guy that you really like, really, really like. So You guys plan to go on a date, and then when you get to the date, you know, you finish your day, nice date, and when it comes to pay, he's like, you get to pay for the first day because I really, really, really like you. But then you get to find out for the girls he didn't like, he used to pay for their dates. But because he likes you, you get to pay. I don't know. You get it?
Say you didn't like. But I don't get to have sex with you when you claim I like you. That makes no fucking sense.
That's
Right.
fair. I can't comment on that.
Yeah, so I guess here's the confusion that I have. I just have a question for the panelists. So who do you think, like, which man is, I guess, more deserving, would you say is more deserving of sex? The guy who you see a long-term potential with, or I guess the guy who you don't see long-term potential with?
Long-term
long-term guy.
potential.
Long-term.
Long-term guy? Okay, but so here's the confusing part. You say he's more deserving of it, but you're saying here that you're withholding sex from the men who arguably deserve the most and they put in the most effort, but you're giving it away freely to the guys who are kind of like, maybe they're really attractive, but they're fuck boys, whatever. Maybe they put in minimal or no effort. And a lot of men see this, maybe they never had to pay for a date, never had to be chivalrous, et cetera, et cetera. I think were we talking about chivalry earlier today? Yeah. So what do men see? They see, why should I do all the chivalrous stuff that women claim they want, all the chivalrous stuff that women demand needs to be in place before having sex, but then that she freely has given herself to men who did not do those things. So,
and that's why most men become bad boys who used to be good guys. Right, that's right there. Because guys talk. A good guy could be friends with a bad boy. There's always that one in the group. So when he comes and explains his experiences, he's like, well, I never had to take her on a date. I never had to do any of this. You're doing that? What, 3 months? Dinner dates? What is that? So most guys see that and like, you don't say. You know what I mean? So it's confusing to guys, and that's like conundrum in dating right now. So most good, nice guys are starting to catch on, and they're like, you know what? Fuck being nice. Fuck finishing last. I'm a bad boy. To the streets.
so like, I don't know the sexual history of the panelists here, but like, it's maybe fair to say that some of you have had, this isn't a judgment, but you've maybe like had a one-night stand or hooked up with a guy relatively quickly who didn't pay for dates, didn't get you flowers or reacted to flowers before, didn't do all that chivalrous stuff. And it's like, men see this. You guys are giving sex to the men that aren't chivalrous, that are just like, text you at 11 p.m. on a Friday night, what you doing? Terrible grammar, by the way. They have terrible grammar too. Not the men. What you doing? They text at a 5th grade level or some shit. And then it's like, oh, now you're 30. Now you want, after you gave yourself to all these other men who didn't have to put in any effort, now you want me to put in all this effort? That's crazy.
Yeah, when most guys see that, they're like, this is not a good deal. It's not a good deal. And again, for the ladies, like I told you before, if you want to understand how men feel about this, think about the guy you really like. And when you go on dates, he tells you to pay for the dates because he really likes you. But then you get to find out all his exes that he didn't like, all the girls he talked to he didn't like, he paid for their dates. But because he likes you, you get to pay for all the dates that you guys are going on. You see what I mean? Like, imagine that feeling. That's how men feel when they are told to be nice, but they make them wait for sex, but then they find out that you gave the chicks to other bad boys.
You're commenting on what's the problem with hookup culture in our society. Like, that is the issue, is that by having hookup culture, we are perpetuating a society where it's okay to treat women poorly because as long as you're attractive or as long as you have high status.
That's women treating men poorly, not men treating women poorly.
It's both. It takes two to have a hookup culture.
No, in this case, it's just women treating men poorly. What they're doing is gaslighting men. They're saying, listen, I really like you, and so I'm not going to sleep with you. I just slept with 3 guys before you, though, because I didn't like them. That is the stupidest shit that I've ever heard in my life. And there are men who fall for that.
Oh, so
but
many
this is
guys.
not a cause of men. How are men causing that?
I'm not saying.
How exactly are men marionetting women in order to gaslight them with this shit? Like, they're not.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that.
Yeah, men pretty much respond to what demands women make. If all women in the world decided that, hey, listen, we all require, and some women have done this, expensive dinner dates like lately. Now, some guys will either not do it or they will just, find the money, whatever it is. But usually men go according to, because men approach women, women set the standards, and then the man can either meet those standards or fall off if he can't. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, shout out to Andrew. This was a great video. And I'm sure so many nice guys see this and they feel used, especially if they find out that the girl they've done all these good things for, didn't reward them, but did reward the guys who didn't do nothing for her. It hurts, but it's a learning lesson. What do you guys think? Link down below to Andrew's whatever podcast. Shout out to Brian as well. But next video, this video, man, 19 years of marriage down the drain. Sad story, man. So many guys would love to get married, but the fear of divorce, that someone could just wake up one morning and burn down all the years, the sacrifice, the investment, the time they've invested in the marriage. Most guys are scared of that. Most guys are not scared of marriage. They are scared of divorce. But more so than ever, they are scared of the ramifications, of the consequences of divorce. I believe that if guys got divorced, but they didn't have to fight to see their kids, they didn't have to be kicked out of their own houses and become homeless, if guys didn't have to lose maybe half their pension or retirement savings and things like that, most guys would be okay with marrying, and marriage wouldn't be going down the drain, honestly. But this guy's gonna give us an example of what it means when a man's 19 years of marriage goes down the drain out of the blue. All right, I'll link down below his channel. Let's go.
And I had to take my computer to a local computer shop to do some upgrades on it. And I've been knowing the owner of the shop for a number of years. Real cool dude, nice guy. And I hadn't seen him in a while. So naturally, the customary thing to do is, hey, man, how you been? How the family been? This man told me, man, everything's going great, D. Other than my wife wanting to get a divorce. And I was like, what? Said, man, you've been married for like a number of years, 19 years to be exact. And don't y'all got like 3 kids? And with all of that, she still want to get a divorce. So, me understanding that there are 3 sides to a story. There's his side, there's her side, and somewhere in the middle lies the truth. So I sat back and I listened because it was clear that this man wanted to vent a little bit, because oftentimes, you see, men don't have support groups. We don't have girlfriends or guy friends that we can talk to. Men oftentimes struggle in silence. And we understand that for us to go file for a divorce, when a man files for a divorce, that means that life with his wife is so terrible that it's unbearable.
That's facts, because most guys, do you know how many guys are in sexless marriages? Do you know how many guys even find out that their kids, the kids they thought belonged to them, are not theirs, but they still stay in the marriage? Do you know how many guys are in unhappy marriages, but they still stay married? Do you know how many guys find out the wife is cheating, but they still go out there, work, and still pay the bills to this day? So by that, he's right. By the time a man files for divorce, because guys, the divorce statistics is 70-80%, initiated by a woman. So the other percentages of 40 or maybe 30% or 20% initiated by men, those guys must have been to a breaking point. Because usually the married man, if he doesn't have, like he said, if he doesn't have close friends he can talk to, he usually keeps it in for all those years. But the woman usually tells her sisters, his family, the in-laws and stuff like that, and they always take her side because the man just says it is what it is.
The Bible says it's better to sleep on the roof than to be in the house with an unruly woman. So we often find that men have no one to talk to. So I wanted to be this man's ear. I wanted to lend him an ear to let him vent. And in listening to this good dude, he says that, I asked myself, well, what is it what's the reason that she giving? Well, one was, you don't make me feel pretty. Another was, well, you don't really help around the house. Another was, we don't go on vacation. So, but here's the thing though. This man has built a successful business in a part of my town that is very affluent. And he's not just built the business. His business is, he founded the business, he nurtured the business, and he has grown the business, and the business is thriving. So the fact that he don't do anything around the house, well, what does that mean? Laundry, why, cook, clean, cut the grass. Well, that wasn't the case because realistically, he taking care, the bills, he taking care of all the things that a man needs to do as part of his requirement of being a real man and a husband. And not only that, he still has to make sure that his business is running. Because you got to understand, when you have a business, if your business is not doing well, you don't eat. You don't eat, the bills don't get paid. And if the bills don't get paid, people sending letters to your house saying that if you don't pay the bill, we're going to foreclose on your house. If you don't pay your light bill, we're going to shut your lights off. If you don't pay your water bill, we're going to shut your water off. So unlike his wife, who has a job that she works, and she works in the medical field, so I'm not going to go too much into it, but she made good money. But even with that, still not enough for her. So as I went on to listen, I also discovered that when this woman is off, his wife, instead of her spending time with her husband and their children, she out running the streets with her single girlfriends.
So I can guarantee you those single girlfriends are the ones that were talking crazy in her ear to make her divorce her husband after 19 years. Because sometimes they get so jealous of the friend being in a successful relationship for that long. And like they say, misery loves company. So I kid you not, I would not be shocked if those single friends convinced this woman to leave her husband after 19 years. Now they're all going to be single together, miserable together.
Instead of being at home and being a productive wife, she running the streets with her single girlfriends. So you don't think you don't think that has a little bit to do with it, ma'am? The fact that you've been married for 19 years, the fact that you're the only one in the group that's married. But I can tell you what happened, like I told him. Her single friends done got in her ear. Girl, you can do better. You can do better. Why you putting up with that? And to add insult to injury, his wife had the audacity to say that, well, I feel like I never had an opportunity to experience life. You know, I got married and had kids. Well, ma'am, that was a choice. Nobody held a gun to your head. Nobody twisted your arm behind your back and said, you got to do this. You chose to do this. So now that you done been with this man all these many years, y'all got 3 kids, the kids almost grown out the house. Now you choose that now you want to live a hot girl life. Now you want to be single.
Yeah, but I don't think the grass is always greener on the other side, especially at that age. And she didn't say the guy cheated. She's complaining about things people can have conversations about. You know, she's claiming he didn't help her clean or make her feel beautiful or whatever. We all know that when most people get into relationships, they let themselves go. They stop looking good. They stop, you know, putting their best foot forward to stay attractive to their partners. You know, but to just end a 19-year marriage because of something petty like that, it's crazy. Now, obviously, there are 2 sides to it, to every story. We don't know her exact story. We only know what this guy is saying. But from the outside looking in, she has single friends and she claims she missed out on whatever life it is. Maybe when she hangs out with the single friends, she sees them changing man to man, now switching from man to man, and now they've influenced her to go back to the streets.
But as I told this good gentleman, I said, I have a message for your wife. And the message is this. The dating market is cruel nowadays.
Yep, it is.
Yeah. I say, man, I don't know what your wife look like. But if she can stand to lose some weight and she barely a 5 or 6, the only thing she getting is some pipe.
That's for sure.
If she get that. Because you got to understand, in them clubs that her and her girlfriends going to, it's other girls going to them clubs too, but they younger. They're in their 20s and their 30s. No kids. That's your competition. And this dream that her girlfriends has sold her convinced her to throw away her marriage on some BS. I guarantee you, the chicken's gonna come home to roost.
And I can guarantee you, they have been feeding her BS for the longest time. Because I don't think this was a one time thing that she just woke up her girlfriends told her leave the husband. I think over time she has been complaining to the girlfriends. Today he did this, yesterday he did this, 2 weeks ago he did this, he didn't do this, ABCD. She's been complaining to them about how bad the husband is. So they're like, you know what? Oh, yeah, we got one. Just leave him, join us in our single life. Let's go back to the streets. But he's absolutely right. The older you get, for both men and women, now, men, if you have some money, maybe it may be easier for you. But the dating market is crazy. Worse than it was 20 years ago, especially with social media and everyone with weird standards. You guys have seen all the videos I react to. So I don't know what she thinks she's going to expect out there, because I'm sure she's going to still expect the kind of Prince Charming, 6 foot tall, rich guy in shape, the same way she wanted 30 years ago before she got married. But she's going to get a rude awakening, that's for sure.
Because when she get out there and finally get her little divorce and find that it ain't nobody out there but some hard pipe and bubble gum, and unfortunately, they always seem to be out of bubble gum. I don't understand what's going on. Ain't no bubble gum to be found nowhere. But they got plenty of pipe for you.
Yep.
And when you discover that these men are going to cycle through you like the roller coaster at your local park, amusement park, or fairground, and everybody take a turn, but nobody want to pour into you, it is only then that reality is going to set in. You know, I felt so bad for this guy because, you know, it's not like we buddies and we hang out, but he's a good dude. He always was kind. He's humble. He's always very polite to the customers. And although I am older than him, he's always treated me with respect, regardless of what my age, because I've seen him be very polite and humble to customers that was well younger than he was. So that's just part of being a good business owner. But I felt bad for him in the sense that, what do men do when we know that more times than not, women are the ones that file for divorce? And it's not because they've been abused. It's not because they're being mistreated. It's because they tired of getting the same pipe. They done got bored with getting the same pipe. They done got bored with just being a housewife. No, now they want to be single, sampling all these pipes. And instead of just saying that, you want to gaslight this man and tell him, oh, well, you don't make me feel pretty. Well, what does that mean, ma'am? What does that mean? Ma'am, he's not responsible for your happiness. If you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see, and when you look in the mirror, and if you don't tell yourself that I'm beautiful, I don't feel pretty, well, guess what? That's your problem, not his.
Yeah, because no matter how many times it says you're beautiful, you look good, but you don't feel it, or you don't work towards, you know, making yourself feel good or looking good, it doesn't matter. So that's why I was saying, if that is true and that's what she really gave him the reasons for divorce, it's all BS. Because even when she goes out on the dating streets, she's not going to find a man who's going to tell her she's pretty every single day. Yeah, he may do it in the beginning, and like he said, after he lays the pipe, that's it. No more you're beautiful, pretty every single day. Especially as people get older, who wants to be given compliments and fishing for compliments every single day? You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, people have to be comfortable with who they are. You know? But hey, what do I know? All I know is this is another testament to the fact that marriages are going down the drain. And these guys just lost a 19-year-old marriage. That's crazy. But anyway, what you guys think? I'll link down below this guy's video and channel. You guys comment down below, man. For the men, is marriage still worth it? Ladies, are you leaving your husbands after 20 years? Or are you going to see it through till death do you part? It's like, what's even the use of the vows? It's like the vows don't mean nothing anymore. It's crazy, man. Anyway, up next, shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. Shout out to King Nanda. And I came across he just posted this video not too long ago. And this is a crazy topic because so many people talk about why black men and African men love dating white women. You know, and this hits home because all these people are from my home country. But let's get into it and see what the perspective is. Because some black women feel black men should not date white women. But if a black woman dates a white woman, they call it preference. But if a black man dates a white woman, they call it you hate your mama. They call it you hate yourself. Let's get into it.
But yeah, guys, today's topic, guys, we're talking about interracial dating. Now, Stuart, you are a Ugandan living in Canada, right?
Mhm.
And you said something. I don't know if I can say it. Can I quote you? You said you don't date white. Or would you like to change
I
your
didn't say
word?
I don't date. I said I've never
You-
dated a
Oh.
white person, and I've never been interested in doing it. That doesn't mean, you know, when you say I don't, it's
Means you
like there's a
could.
full stop. No, when you say I don't do this, it's like never in my life can I do this, right? It's just that I can't say that because I'm not God, but at the moment I have zero interest in doing
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And why is that? Because most times when we see so many people like Japa go abroad, you know, they want to like try the other race, date outside their race, you know, like get
alright,
a white
this is gonna be a very
lady
interesting.
on his hand or something.
This is gonna be very interesting.
No, speaking as as an African, I think the stigma is lower in African countries compared to the men in America, the Black American men. The stigma on African men not to date white women is lower compared to African Americans, the men, right? So I don't, because it's not, race is not such a big issue in the culture or talked about the way it's talked about in America. So I understand why African men, once they go to different European countries, it's not an issue. They can date white women because no one really beats them down and curses them out and calls them names and stuff like that, because race isn't such an issue. But now for an African American man in America, or even some European countries, I could see why it's an issue, because there's a stigma, there's a racial friction between the blacks and the Caucasians. So that's why it's easier, or it's not such a big issue for African men to date white women.
All right, cool. Quick story, yeah? So when I first left and I went to Canada, I was like, any other man, I was super curious to be with a white woman. Just because I had never done it. Right? And then I did it a couple of times and I was like, okay, that's it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Then after that, it's like, all right, cool. It's like, it's just a curiosity. And once you fulfill it, it's more like, this is my case. It was more like, okay, that's it. That's not really better than being with a black woman.
Okay.
And it got even a bit deeper because I dated a black woman that was not Ugandan though. And I still couldn't do that either because of the culture differences and stuff.
Which African girl was that?
And the understandings. I don't want to say where she was from.
Nigerian?
I don't want to give it away. No, I don't want to give it away.
But African?
But it still kind of felt like she was foreign because we were just too different. You know?
Different in what way?
Bro, if you can't even speak the same language, you get what I'm saying, besides English, it's kind of like there's that, and then there's differences in like culture. There's certain things that would be so normal for like a Ugandan man to do that would be abnormal for, let's say, a Rwandan man to do. You know what I'm saying? And they would find it a bit weird and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I don't want.
I mean, I see what he's saying, but I also disagree. I don't think he didn't say this, but I believe most African men, once they get to European countries, they are not looking to try a different preference of like, let me try a white woman. Oh, like I don't think most African men have the curiosity. So he did in his life, for himself he did, but I don't think every African man does have that. Like, and especially because you are so used to just only seeing black people, you are used to that. You don't know what to expect from a person from a different race. So most Africans will just stick to black women. But it goes to an extent, even that Africans themselves between each other find it hard to date each other, because even within African countries, they have differences in culture, to the extent that a Nigerian woman may find it hard to date a Kenyan man. A Kenyan man may find it hard to date a South African woman, like, because of the differences in culture. Like he said, the culture is everything. If you guys don't find things you do weird, the relationship can't last for a long time. In fact, I believe an African American man would be more likely to date a white woman because he sees them growing up more than an African man, because he rarely sees them, in my opinion, because he's not used to them. They don't share any cultures.
But there's some people who say like in the sorry for being so blunt, like in the bedroom,
Yeah.
was that so much of a difference that you felt so pushed to be like, oh no, I can't do someone outside my country?
Not really.
Wait,
That
what?
wasn't the case. No, that was probably the. I'd be saying this.
Okay.
That was probably the case with the white.
Okay.
Oh no.
And the
Know what I'm
bedroom?
saying? That was probably the case.
I'm sorry for asking. Did you expect the Uganda treatment, the whole hot water and the towel?
You guys, I'm not that old. For
Yeah, is that what they do?
I've never in my life experienced
Traditionally,
that.
With a Ugandan, you've not?
I'm 27. I'm not that old. That's like way past my age.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
No, I've heard about it though.
But
They do
But I've
it.
never.
does it
reached
push you to stick with your Ugandan women
That's
because
not really the case. Let's not get into detail.
no. The
I feel like-
differences.
I feel like number one,
Mm.
you know, when we hear these stories of like, oh, these men just have fetishes about us. Do you think you had a fetish for white women in the beginning?
It wasn't a fetish. It was
Mm.
just
It
a
was an itch,
curiosity.
yeah.
I just feel like, okay, I haven't done this. Let me take it off my bucket list.
So you used them to fulfill your curiosity. When it was done, you decided to go away.
You think I'm gonna deny?
No, I don't think he used them. I don't like the picture she's trying to paint. She's trying to paint him like a user. I don't like that. Some women do that, and that's where the false, sexual allegations come from. I don't like that. But the whole curiosity thing, women are curious all the time. They could be curious with a short guy, with a rich guy, with a tall guy, with a big guy, with a very muscular guy, with a bald guy. They're curious with every guy. Does that mean they're using him? No. But men are also curious with a big woman, with a small woman, petite woman, athletic, different people. Humans are curious. Can we just say that? So for me, I don't think it's it's using someone unless it's directly manipulating them in some way. Even then, we are adults. You can see when someone is really manipulating you, like, overdoing it.
No, no. Yes, I used them.
But I feel like,
I mean,
White women.
but I feel like white women are so liberal. They wouldn't see it as being used. If it was consensual, they would be okay
Yeah,
with
yeah.
it.
Consent
Now
is
they
very
know,
big.
white women, I am warning you as a fake white sister, African men will use you for experience.
see,
Okay.
Yeah.
and I'm African. These are stereotypes I don't like. Now, maybe I'm really getting to my feelings, but it's because this is bigger than what she might be joking, but it's not really a joke. It's not a good joke to make, about men that they are using women, because then all women will just cry victims. It is consensual between adults. No one is using anyone. So
So that was it. But like I said, the other thing with the other Africans, it feels like the difference in culture is a very big thing. Like I've experienced it like firsthand. It's like you do a certain thing. I'll give you an example, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now this is a different person. So I've also dated like a Ugandan
Mm-hmm.
that has never been to Uganda.
There's
That's
a
literally
difference
Canadian, right?
between.
And there's one time, I'll give an example. There's one time, I sent my mom some money, right?
Yeah.
We're Ugandan, like that's normal. right?
Yeah. Black
Sent my
tax.
mom some money,
Mm.
and she found out that I sent my mom money. And she was like, "Wait, did you just send your mom money?" She's like, "Why would you do that?" I'm like, "What do you mean? Why would I do that?"
Yeah.
Why not?
She's like, "She has her own money, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, but why not?"
Yeah.
She's like, "Then you're not supposed to give her nothing."
She's
Yeah.
Canadianized.
He understands that. You get what I'm saying,
Yeah.
right? 'Cause that side, like, give your mom money. No, because you're not gonna give your mom money because once you're 17, 18, they're gonna start asking you for rent money.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Or you're gonna be doing the groceries. So
Mm.
you're not really friends when it comes to money. So it's not normal for them to give their parents money.
Mm.
And that was a big fight.
And you feel like if it was like a Ugandan girl, Ngava,
It's
Uganda,
normal
they
because they know it's the
understand.
normal thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was
Kaka
a very,
airtime.
it was a very,
You don't leave that struggle behind.
Yeah, it was a very, very big fight. You don't know. I can't even explain how big it was, but it was very big that it kind of led to the breakup.
Mm-hmm.
So that steered you towards a
Someone that can
Canadian,
understand me.
a Ugandan Canadian who was born in Uganda.
No,
They never been. They never.
You
been
also know what the one's born in Uganda.
No. Oh, you're saying that drove me towards no. The other person. Can we not talk about it?
I mean, I kind of understand what he's saying. He's saying, which I already talked about, that guys, differences in cultures is such a big issue when it comes to relationships and dating. You know, forget the person looks good, forget you guys have a good energy. Like, if the culture clashes to that extent, that's why even people in the same country may not be able to date each other because of differences in culture. To the extent that even people with different religions from the same country, they may share the same culture, you know, overall, but if the cultures when it comes to religion are different, they may still not be able to date each other, i.e., Muslims and Christians. Yeah, you are from the same country. You may be, for example, in my country, same tribe. We have rather different tribes. I may be from the same tribe as someone else, but if they're Muslim and I'm Christian, we may not be able to be in a relationship because the religions clash. Maybe they want to pray 5 times a day. Maybe I only want to do, Sunday. So that could be an issue, because now how are you going to raise your kids? What religion? So I definitely understand where he's coming from, and I'm sure some of you guys have experienced this, how religion can really be a big issue when it comes to relationships.
Well, let me ask the question then. Okay. So I know you're from the Central.
Mm-hmm.
When you say dating somebody from Uganda, there are many tribes in Uganda.
Yeah, but there's a lot of similarities because
Okay.
we're in the same country. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
So dating somebody from like the North is not as hard.
Trust me, there's a lot of similarities in our culture and the ways we carry ourselves as Ugandan. Because don't forget, besides the different cultures and tribes, we're all Ugandan.
Okay.
So there's so many similarities there.
Okay.
It's different from dating someone that's literally Canadian or American or whatever, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so it's really different.
So let's say, when you date somebody from Uganda but that has lived in Canada versus a Ugandan that is in Uganda, what are the differences between those two things?
So you said a Ugandan that has lived in Canada.
But they're from here, like you.
Okay.
Their perspective.
So that depends on how Ugandan they are.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? So I didn't leave Canada. I didn't leave Uganda till I was 19.
Mm-hmm.
So I've lived most of my life in Uganda.
Yeah.
So I'm technically 100% Ugandan.
Yeah, true.
That's different from someone that left Uganda when they were 4 years and they don't remember nothing.
Okay, let's say somebody that has been, living in there the same amount of time as you.
Oh, so they've technically grown up here and they just left and
exactly,
went
same
there.
situation.
Okay, and now someone that's typically here.
Yes.
The long distance
Yes.
route. All right. Okay. They both have their advantages and disadvantages.
Okay. Give them
However
to us.
much I feel like, for me personally, because I live there, I prefer someone that lives there. Someone that's, because even me, like personally, the years that I've been there, my personal life and personal ways of life and everything have changed. I've been influenced by where I live, the environment and everything. Right? So that's something that someone also needs to understand. So me dating someone that's in Uganda while I'm over there, it's kind of hard because now they don't know the Canadian side of me. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want to pay for the flight
Yeah,
ticket to
but
take them to Canada to teach them the Canadian life?
that's what we're talking about.
Oh
He
my
gave me the
God,
option.
This chick, she's always going in. But anyway, I think I understand what he's saying. That for my American viewers, right? So imagine someone who was born in Haiti but comes to the United States. They may find it hard to date a woman or a man who's of Haitian descent but was born and grew up in the United States, because there's still a difference in culture, because they don't have that culture from Haiti, the country. They are Haitian by blood but not Haitian by country. Like they don't know the ways of Haitian people in Haiti, to the extent that even some Haitians, I'm just using Haiti as an example for my American viewers, right? Even some Haitians who come from Haiti as adults and then come to the US, they could pick up some cultures, some ways of life that they will find it hard to date someone who is staying in Haiti. Let's say they go back to visit or maybe to stay for vacation 6 months to a year. They may find it hard to date someone who has never left Haiti because they now have an American side to them, and that could also bring an issue with culture, because then the person who stayed back home is going to look at them like, why are you doing this, why are you blind, why are you taking me out, why are you doing all these things? That dating is completely different.
Of someone that's been there and now lives there. Now that person is literally the photocopy of me.
Yes.
They've lived here and now they're there.
Yeah.
It's just exactly as me, so they can understand my Ugandan side.
Yeah. And they understand also the challenges that you go through there.
Yeah, so I prefer that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Someone's gonna be here. Okay, long distance, whatever, that's fine. I've done that before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
how did it go?
They just wouldn't understand. How do you know it's done? Again, I didn't say that just for the sake. But like someone's gonna be here.
Yeah.
And they probably think because you're in Canada, you got lots of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And their demands are
they will
gonna
ask
be
you
their
for
demands are gonna be
money.
so high, right? But if
Oh,
someone's
yeah.
there and they live with you and they see how the life is, they
Mhm.
see the hustle. Now they
Yeah.
understand that it's not really what most
Yeah.
people think, right? So less problems for you because you know each other, you understand each other.
Mhm.
So I'd rather someone over there that's been here and knows the culture and everything, born and raised here, and now there. That's way easy.
Okay, so let's say the white person that grows up in Canada, and you've dated them, and we can compare it to dating a black person in your same
I ain't
situation.
never dated no white girl.
Okay,
Wait,
or
you-
just okay. Let's say not even dating, but let's just say coming in contact. What you say white women love black men
Yeah.
in Canada.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Do the white women, are they putting themselves in a situation where because like here in Uganda, most women are looking for the man to do everything. At least what I've seen. I'm just saying from what I can get from Joan and whoever else, right? So, but they're looking for. They're not going to go approach a guy or do. That's not going to happen.
You're saying that you're getting girls?
Yeah.
You haven't been approached yet?
No. I have, but what I'm saying is, white women.
Normally.
White women are more aggressive, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you believe?
Nah.
Not really.
I used to think that.
Yeah, white women are more aggressive than black women. That's the truth. They will, to the extent, if they may not be direct with you, that hey, listen, I like you, ABCD, but at least they will come in close contact with you. They will smile. They will create conversation to like enable you to, if you like them, to take it to the next level. But black women, I don't care how much she likes you. I don't care if she sees you and she starts to get wet. She won't even say hi. She won't even smile because she wants you to take it like to just figure it out. I don't know how to be a mind reader that she likes you. So I don't agree with him over that.
Yeah, but recently, my personal experience, man, the girls in Uganda don't job. They're gonna come at you straight up.
Yeah. Especially if look at his face.
What? They're gonna come at you straight up.
I say that to say that they'll just look at you and you get it.
Yeah,
they
they'll look at me
connect the
and,
dots and
oh,
then they'll
oh,
just
my
approach
dad
you.
or this or
But I
that.
don't think that's the norm for like
what I'm
any
saying.
normal
Yeah.
Ugandan.
I mean, I'm talking about my personal experience.
Obviously.
Personal experience,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I've had like plenty of them just walk up to me and be straight up with it. Things I can't say on air.
Okay.
You know
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Well, you can say,
So,
give
but-
us
And they're
two.
like,
But let's say in Canada though, in Canada with the white women and the Africans or Caribbeans living in Canada, what's the difference in interacting with white women in Canada and black women in Canada?
I feel like, between black and white. Okay.
Yes.
You know, it's actually funny, but I feel like the white women are more interested in the black man. So the interactions are way more easy compared to the black
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine.
The black women over there are like, they're show offs. You know what I'm
Do you
saying?
think
show
they
off.
also
Yeah,
want
they want
white
to act
men?
hard and stuff. Like, no,
Yeah.
not even that.
Yeah, that's literally what I said. That if a white woman likes a black guy, she will make it easy, smile, conversation, and things like that. But when a black woman is interested in a black man, she will act in a way that you think she hates you. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. Like no smile, nothing, and then you're supposed to just, I don't know, figure it out. They call it the resting bitch face, but it's like if you like me, you might as well be nice to me from the start so I can, take it from there.
Not necessarily that, but they feel like they're
the shit.
prize.
they're the shit.
They're the
baddies,
prize.
bro. They're the prize.
Isn't
Right.
that how
Yeah.
it's supposed to
They're
be?
trophies. You know what I'm saying? So, and that could probably be because they're less than the whites.
Oh, okay.
They're less the produce, the higher the demand.
The demand.
But is their demand that high?
Bro, any black man that tries out a black woman is not going back to no white woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the other way around as well. Any white woman that tries a black man, once she go black,
You don't
He
go.
never go
never
back.
go back. So it's more like that, you know?
Yeah.
And these white guys know how to treat these women, bro.
Wait.
They know how to what?
Whoa.
No, like, I mean, like, treat them like nice. You know what I'm saying?
The white guys can't.
Like, no, the white guys know how to do that. Like,
They're treating black women nice in
they're
Canada.
treating them nice. You
Mm.
know, better than the black men that they're used to that are just rude and whatever. You know, these white men, like, you know, they could change your life. You know? More like they could change your life. You know,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
they
yeah,
have.
I think we're now talking about the money, if I'm going to be honest. Because the whole thing of the white man treats a black woman better than the black man, maybe that's like I said, it's because when she's a white man, she's with a white man, she's going to be smiling and nicer. But when she's a black man, she's with a black man, she's going to give attitude, pointing fingers, snatch souls, attitude, call him names. So the energy is matched. Because it's very hard for someone to treat you nice and then you act like an asshole to them. It's, it can happen, but usually it doesn't.
like houses and inheritances and stuff.
Right,
like
right,
that,
right,
you know
right,
what
right,
I'm
right.
saying?
Sugar
Yeah,
daddies.
and trust funds and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
Look at Esther. She's over there. You want a white man?
She's planning.
I wouldn't mind one.
yeah, so
Oh, that's good.
you know, but that's just when they target like a life. You know, when they're targeting their future.
Yeah,
At
Right.
the end of the
Vegas.
day, if it's just for the fun of it, they
Yeah,
prefer
with
the
a black guy.
Okay.
What is it with the black men that are having
I'm very
fun
sure you've
with?
been with a black man before, so you can answer that better than I can. Answer.
Oh.
I want to know.
I haven't been with no black man, so I have no answer. Do you have the answer to
No,
that?
no, no,
So
no.
you guys need to answer that. You
But I
tell
know
us.
somebody
What's
who
with
do
the
got
black
answer.
man?
Who? Don't let him say it. Yeah? Don't let him say the name.
Well, I've been with a white man.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
So what's the
Esther,
difference?
Spill.
Yeah.
First of all, what's your preference?
My preference.
Yeah.
It's money. Money.
Don't ask me why I decided to date again black men.
Hmm. We don't
Yeah.
need to ask. Okay, cool. We understand. We get what you're saying. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Tell us the experience, Esther, dating a white man.
Dating
and
a
then-
white man?
Hold on. Story time music.
Yes. When I dated a white man, ladies and gentlemen, he gave me flowers.
And sandals.
Something a
What
black
about new
man
sandals?
didn't do.
Never.
Yes.
Black men, please pamper us with flowers, nice messages 24/7. Go to my door at 2 a.m. so I know you're thinking about me midnight. Black men can never do that. Well,
Exactly.
maybe you can. Can you?
Which white man is at your door,
If
Esther?
I'm
to
really
me?
interested in love,
You gonna fuck around and stab your ass
Or
at 2 o'clock
maybe-
in the morning.
You know what I'm thinking? According to what your answer is, maybe I've never met a black man who has been really interested in
there's
me.
actually, let me tell you, all these things we're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
there's always, you know how we're saying black,
exception.
white, or whatever, there's always
Yeah.
exceptions.
Obviously.
There's always exceptions. So if you ever find a black man that does the things the white man does and still does the things that a black man does,
Oh.
I would
just
never
get
go
married.
anywhere.
Yeah, just get married. Yeah.
But I had a question for you.
That is lies. I'm sure she has had some good black men treat her nicely and she had her friends on them, or she wanted more and more. It's like they can never get enough. But anyway, man, shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. For those of you who don't know, this is O'Shea, man. He's King Anda. He has so many successful channels, but I like King Anda because he's best in Uganda, and also does some videos from Kenya. That's where the King Anda came from. I'll link down below the full podcast so you guys can go over there, check it out, and see for yourselves for other great content he creates. What do you guys think, man? This was a great show. Comment down below what you think, what you want me to react to. Till next time, peace.